out of a terrible tragedy, you've decided to make something that's quite beautiful, and I really, so Saber Rose, tell me a little bit about, and tell the viewing audience a little bit about what it does, because unfortunately, I don't think a large portion of the population, mostly white people, realize that this is even a problem.
So I founded Saber Rose after losing my life partner, Amber Rose Isaac, on April 21st, 2020. We just had her 1-year anniversary pass. And I started the legacy in her honor. You know, I lost Amber due to an unscheduled C-section.
Right.
She had to deliver the baby 40 days before the due date. Her platelet levels had actually been deteriorating since December 2019.
Wow.
You know,
so you had a 4-month period, pretty much, where there's obvious signs of something wrong.
Exactly. There were all these signs, so much time to fix it, and she was just blatantly being ignored. And they actually found out that she had HELLP syndrome the last minute, the day that they actually decided to induce her labor. They decided to give her a C-section. Actually, they cut her open 3 different times.
Oh, wow.
They performed a C-section. They didn't know where the bleeding was coming from, so they performed a hysterectomy and took out her uterus for no reason.
Wow.
Just to find out that she wasn't bleeding from there as well. And then they cut her chest open to manually massage her heart. They weren't giving her, blood transfusions or really anything to necessarily bring her platelets up. And, I felt like the hospital really tried their best to cover up Amber's death.
Wow.
It seemed like they wanted her to have COVID because, if she had COVID, we wouldn't be able to fight against this.
Right, there's just a blanket, COVID happened, and complications,
They were trying to send Amber's body to Hart Island, which is where they dump the COVID patients in a hole.
Wow.
It was stressful for me because funeral homes weren't accepting anyone for the next 4 to 5 months. Luckily, someone seen, my advocacy work, and they wanted to help me out, and we were able to, get Amber a proper burial.
Right.
The death certificate was never stamped by a medical examiner, but the autopsy was done by her head surgeon that never showed up for her. So he could kind of just write whatever he wanted to write.
Well, so the bottom line is, so you have a history of this incompetent doctors, several incompetent doctors, an incompetent hospital, and then a hospital, an admin that's trying to cover up how incompetent they've been the whole time. So what is the goal and the mission of the Saber Rose Foundation?
So I founded the Saber Rose Foundation to combat and dismantle the systemic flaws within the medical system.
Right.
I've actually had to study as if I'm becoming a lawyer, a doctor, a birth worker, a politician. All these things that I've been finding out that's wrong with the system, I've been combating against it by, creating things that'll actually help, right? Like right now, we're working on a mental health app as well.
Right.
That should be dropping at the end of this month. These hospitals in our communities are being so substantially underfunded.
Right.
And a way for them to make up for their budget cuts or their losses, they're giving women C-sections left and right, because if you become a high-risk patient and you're getting a C-section, this becomes a surgical issue. So they're clearing about an extra $8,000 more versus what they would make for a natural birth.
So it's capitalism.
Yes, there's no system in place, and whenever you bring these issues up to politicians who we're paying for their share with our tax money, they're asking, oh, well, do you have a bill? Have you created a bill yourself for this issue? I'm just like, oh, well, that's pretty fucking useless of you.
Right. Like, no, actually, asshole, I'm a grieving partner and father that just wants to get some justice.